Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about rumors. Let's talk about facts.
We gon' talk about life. We gon' talk about death. Romance, finances, generational wealth.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Woo!
Howdy, 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 ho.
How y'all doing? Welcome to
Let's talk about it. I'm your girl, Etoya Lewis.
And I am Marsha E. Dudley.
So, everybody ready for Mother's Day weekend?
Yes.
Well, I know Nikita Grayson is ready. She got a good Mother's Day card.
What did Dallas say?
That his mama like saying, "Get your arse out of here." And then she work on a computer.
That's what G would say that about me out. She be working on a computer.
She work on the computer. She's busy. She works on the computer.
Mhm.
Kids are so innocent. You gotta love them.
They are. They'll miss, but they'll get you messed up.
Mm-hmm. They will. They will tell the truth when they don't need to be telling the truth. They're like, don't tell people that. Come on.
Yes.
But that was really cute, Keita. I know that made your day. But again, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day. Hold on, I got some comments.
That's Keita laughing.
So we got some conversation for y'all tonight.
What are we talking about?
We're gonna have some random conversations tonight because we know we just like to talk sometimes. That's all she and I do is just have random conversations sometimes.
You're like, how did this, what kind of segue was that? That's what we do. The conversations be so random. People like,
Yeah.
How do
Okay. Yeah. So how many of y'all heard about the fight between Usher and Chris Brown? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
I didn't hear about it. You know when I heard about it? When she told me.
Yeah.
But I got an opinion, so
Yes.
let them have it.
Yes. So let me tell
Catch
y'all.
them up.
So let me tell you, for those who have been living under a rock and did not hear,
heard about it.
Didn't hear about the fight with Chris Brown and Usher. Let me tell you about it. So, if you will remember, a couple months ago, Chris was supposed to be performing at one of those
award shows.
Yeah, one of those award shows. I think it was the Grammys. But anyway, Tiana Taylor and Sierra was supposed to be with him performing. Sierra and Tiana Taylor had something to do. They couldn't get out of it, so they had to cancel. Well, the Grammys ended up canceling the Chris's segment, his dedication to Michael Jackson, because they felt Michael Jackson had been accused of abuse and Chris had been accused of abuse, and they couldn't have one abuser,
that's the perfect
given a knowledge,
but it's different abuse. I don't understand that. Go ahead with your story. I'm sorry. Like I said, she just told me about it, and I'm just.
Well, at the end of the day, they feel like they couldn't have one abuser given an award or giving props to another abuser, so they scrapped that show. Well, Chris thought that Sierra and Tiana knew something about it, and Tiana and Chris are like this. So anyway, fast forward, it's Chris Brown's birthday. Usher and Chris Brown have the same management company and the same team. Usher decided to throw Chris Brown a birthday party with his own money, just do something nice for Chris. He invites his best friend, which is Tiana Taylor. He didn't know that him and Tiana was having beef. Anyway, he invited him.
Either.
I know, right? So Tiana shows up for her boy's birthday party. Chris has gotten high. They say Chris was on everything. Every drug you could think of, Chris was on it. So he was thrown. He sees Tiana, he starts calling her bees, getting up in her face, acting all crazy.
First thing
telling
I
her
said was, where was her husband?
he wasn't there.
Mm.
That's what everybody was
Got to
saying.
be more careful.
They was like, Chris waited till her husband wanted to act like that. Anyway, so Tiana was like, forget this. I'm just gonna leave. And Usher was like, no, you're not gonna leave. You're gonna stay here. Well, Chris says, well, I'm gonna leave. Well, Usher is like, no, nobody's leaving. Chris proceeds to leave. Usher goes out there trying to talk to him and stop him. And Chris's team beats him down. Chris and his team beat down the person who has spent hundreds of thousands of their money to give him a birthday party. Now, I don't know if y'all know Tasha K. Tasha K is the chick who Cardi B
who shouldn't be saying nothing because she should be like, I don't want to talk because the way my mouth set up, I could be sued.
Well, Tasha K was like, she was like, Usher played himself. That was stupid of him. I don't think Usher played himself. I think that, this is my homeboy, whatever. I'm gonna throw him a party.
If I had millions, I would throw you a party.
Listen, you already know.
I can have hundreds and I'll throw you a party.
Welcome to Wakanda.
I don't know about that. We got some chips and dip. We got music jumping.
So listen, because we're talking about this tonight because first and foremost, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which I think
there has to be a mental health issue that he needs to.
Yeah,
I think at one point he was seeking counseling.
Yeah, and I think there's something wrong with Chris Brown. I think that if you look at those child stars, a lot of them are just messed up. They have some issues going on, and I think his drug use is intensifying that mental health. Yeah,
it usually does.
Yeah,
drugs and alcohol intensifies any mental issues that you have.
Yeah,
every time.
Yes. So
what you want to know from the people?
I don't know. I just wanted to tell that story.
This is why I love her.
I said we just have random conversations.
I mean, but there has to be something that you want to ask the people.
So help me out because I really didn't. I just wanted to tell a story and we could go from there.
So now that you've told the story,
and
what are your questions about the story?
Well, I got no questions. Chris Brown is messed up and I think he has mental health issues.
Do y'all think he has mental health issues or he just has the wrong influences around him?
He needs. I when I think about Chris Brown, I think about Whitney Houston. I think about all these stars who have all these people around them.
These yes people?
Yes, and they watch them die, and I get it. I get it. I just feel sometimes like
drug and mental. Dev, she said absolutely. He has both.
Yeah,
drug and mental.
And I think because, like I said, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. We have to shed a light on this. I think we don't take it serious in our community. We talked about this before. When we see people with mental health issues, we always just go say, so-and-so crazy.
Yeah, Dev says more people feed off of him than hold him accountable.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's what yes people do. They just want to get paid. But what they don't think about is when he messes up to the point where they can no longer get paid.
I don't think any of them think like that.
Like as long as you're good, as long as you're at the top of your game and we good, then I'm gonna continue to get paid.
I think if we look over, we can sit here and name so many stars. There's Chris Brown, there's Whitney, there's Prince, there's Michael Jackson. All of these people had people around them.
James Brown.
I'm talking about all these people. They had mental health issues. They had real, true, genuine mental health issues. And then they combined it with drugs and everything, and they didn't have enough people that says, you know what, let me try and help you. And I know that I believe that they said Clyde Davidson did try to help Whitney, and she was good for a minute, but
Carlos says money turns these celebrities into sociopaths. I mean, money plays a huge role in how they, because like once your ego is at a certain level, you think people are going to bow down to you. And if they're not, then it just makes you, it kind of puts you in check, but you don't like being checked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, but you know when we was in New York and we saw that Michael Jackson play, and they kept on saying, you know, I'm tired of the pills, you know, and somebody has to say something to him about them pills, but nobody would say anything to him about the pills. So I think that I think that being a celebrity is a blessing and a curse.
Well, it's a curse when you allow outside influences, drugs, alcohol, to come in, because
and then not having those people that hold you accountable.
Yeah, that too. But if you get in your mind that you'll never allow drug, I have to bring up Candy Burst as a great example of that, because of her family background, where she's seen what drugs do to people. She see what alcohol. She doesn't do drugs and she doesn't drink alcohol. Like not even like a little daiquiri or a little cocktail. She's like, I don't need that to have fun. I have a good time just doing what I do. So I don't want that. I don't want anything to influence me in my decision making, because when I pop off, I'm popping off as me. I'm not popping off as the drunk me or you know, stuff like that. So I truly do believe that it's a choice.
It's definitely a
and
choice.
She was a teenage celebrity, so I feel like some people are way more influential though when it comes to drugs and alcohol. So
then you have to think about the mental health part that plays a part in this. They say that mental health is a disease that that it can be, you know, passed down. So I guess we have to, you know, disassociate as far as this, drugs and then mental health.
Carlos says, so you have to understand that a sociopath is never wrong. He said most sociopaths surround themselves with yes men and women, so they cheerlead whatever they're doing. Well, I don't know too much about sociopaths, but I do believe that sometimes people prefer people that's going to say yes. It gives them a sense of I'm doing the right thing, to have somebody around them that says yes.
Well, I'm gonna have Oprah money. I need you to make sure that you keep me accountable.
It doesn't matter how much money you got. You know I got you. You could have Pluto money, non-existent, and I got you.
Okay.
Because what you doing?
Yeah,
that don't make sense. But okay, then but you know how I do stuff. I'll say it in such a way to make you think, oh, so you saying I'm doing the wrong? I ain't saying nothing. I just said, oh yeah, that makes plenty of sense. You're jumping over the moon for
prime example of that. I guarantee Carlos put that orange president part.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Agent Orange. That's what Busta Rhymes called him. Okay, so that dude is a whole nother subject. You know, he got found liable for sexual assaults and not rape, sexual assault and defamation. But I didn't want to talk about people, so you heard that from me.
Well, yeah, president, they saying he stealing money or doing something or misappropriating funds or
He
something.
sleep. He ain't missing. That ain't him. He ain't the one doing it. They doing it on his watch though. Go get the money. Go get the money. Hey, go get the money. Go get the money. Hey, hey.
Oh my God, it's only 7:15. Jesus help us.
Carlos says, I didn't hear about that. You didn't hear about what? What'd you say?
I don't know.
He said, I didn't hear about that. But I did watch a man
Oh, about
that has
president.
been indicted twice and charged with sexual assault take a double-digit lead in the presidential poll. Well, they love him even more. Because remember when the Access Hollywood tape thing came out, and he said, "Grab him by the." Women started getting shirts that said, "You can grab me by my."
Yeah.
Usher Chris Brown rumors. Oh, I didn't hear about it either, Carlos. I was just informed about that, and so I felt like, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because what type of person? Carlos said a sociopath, so it has to be that to take someone's kindness and beat them up.
I don't think so. I think it's mental health. I think he has mental health issues.
Being a sociopath isn't a mental problem.
No, okay.
I feel like it falls under that.
It is. It is a mental health, but it just sounds so ugly when you say so.
But you put a actual label on it. Good, that's Dr. Carlos over there.
And we have to recognize that Black men have a lot of mental health issues that go unrecognized and go undiagnosed.
And a lot of traumas.
Yes.
A lot of traumas. And it's more so because we're used to don't tell nobody what's going on in my house. Or don't you better not cry. You better fix your face. Mm-hmm. Like not being able to cry, not being able to express your feelings, it could cause mental problems.
All that built up
for years. So when you cry, then it's like you feel like it's a form of weakness, and you're not man enough, or you're just a baby. I'm just saying. So what about what was the other thing we was going to talk about? Children, because it's Mother's Day weekend. And so I had a conversation today with my cousin, and we were talking about how young people kind of get anxiety when dealing with money. And we was trying to figure out, what it is. And I think that social media plays a big part in how they deal with stuff. For one, they see all these people posting all this fake news about what they have and what they're doing and this, that, and other. For example, I'm going to tell on myself because it's been a running joke since last Sunday. I did not go to Italy, people. Just in case you did not know. I was dropping my sister off at the airport. Well, my niece off at the airport. Met my sister up there. And I said, wouldn't it be fun if I said I was on my way to Italy? Like, because when you check in someplace, and you say what terminal you're in, and it'll give you a list of all the places that the planes are getting ready to take off from. And I was like, what is the most lavish place on this? Rome. Just that easy. Everybody, like, Rebecca messaged me talking about, so how far are you going to let this go? Because so many people was telling me to be safe and take all these pictures. And oh my God, I wish I had your life and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, wow. That was the experiment. And yeah.
So you coming clean.
No, I was supposed to do it last week. I was supposed to make a joke about coming back from Italy and this, that, and the other. But I forgot.
I wouldn't tell anybody.
And then Andrea reminded me. She was like, okay, so are we gonna let everybody know we're back yet? I said, oh, I forgot. And so I figured I would take this opportunity to say, hey, I never went anywhere, but it's what I put out there and everyone believed. Now that's the first time I've done that, you guys. But it was a little experiment for me. But I think social media plays a lot in how the kids process stuff.
I agree. I definitely agree with you. This generation is a lot more influential than I think when we were growing up. And or maybe not, or maybe they just have more access to things, than what we had when we were growing up. We were looking at videos and
hanging out with one another. I was explaining how my son and my nephew are stationed at the same place and don't ever see each other. It's not because they're deployed. They're not in the same unit, but the bond between family members isn't what it used to be. And they pretty much grew up together, although we were military. Like every place we went, Day went with us. So him and Ivan were always the closest. So I thought when Ivan re-enlisted to go to Bragg that, oh my God, they'll actually get to kind of hang out and do stuff together.
Oh, yeah.
And never. When Ivan first got there, they video called me and was like, hey, look who I found. They were at a football game, flag football game or something together. But it was like an organizational day type something happening. Anyway, it's just really weird to me. Your first cousin?
Yeah, but
hold on. Carlos done said some stuff on here. He said, Marsha, if he has a mental health issue, he imposed it upon himself. At the end of the day, these are adults who know right from wrong. And then he says, why your husband told you to remove it when you posted it. Oh, he's talking about the Italy thing. I don't listen to you, fool. You don't tell me what to do, banana.
Okay, G.
I tell you, she had me laughing all day today, talking trash.
So you posted a picture of you and Gianna, so Gianna went to Italy with you?
No, that was today.
Okay.
See, the Italy happened like 2 Sundays ago.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's why I said I was supposed to say something on Thursday.
I wouldn't say anything.
No, I mean, it was an experiment. I just forgot I was experimenting. Like these drug users, just they forget they experiment. I feel like that's what it is. You know, when you think about it.
Let me tell you
something. I'll try it.
Let me tell you something. No, I when I was in college, I got a hold of some bad. I was smoking weed with some people, and like I tell anybody, I was drinking. I had took 2 sips about 2 or 3 sips, and we was all in a circle, and we was just passing it back.
Y'all was playing spin the bottle?
No. Pass the weed.
Mm.
And I kept saying, God, this the stinkiest weed I've ever smelled in my life. And I kept saying, I said, why does this weed and smell like this? And everybody just kept laughing and just said, just smoke the weed, just smoke it or pass it. And I was like, okay,
you ain't no punk.
Yeah, I remember, God honest truth, I remember taking, it went around the second time. I remember taking a puff, and I don't remember anything else out of that. My friend, she's in the group. She might be on tonight, but one of my best friends, they found me face down at my apartment complex. They thought I was dead, and I had vomited everything. I don't know how I got home. I don't know anything. I knew right in and there.
Anything could have happened to you.
Anything could have happened to me, and I stopped smoking weed for a long time. And if I and hold on,
we're gonna light up after this here. I got some.
Hold on. No, we're not. But when
it's a joke, everybody. Once again, don't take me doggone literally.
But from that point on, when I did smoke weed back then, I had to see you take it off the tree. I had to smell it. I had to make sure that this is 1% weed. My brother said he put some embalming fluid or either sprinkle a little crack on it.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't get addicted from that little
But
party you went
just
to.
messing, just out there trying stuff. I knew I didn't want. I don't want to be an addict. Mm-mm.
Greg said because we travel so much, that's why it's easy to believe me.
Yeah, it is.
That's exactly what I told her. I knew Marsha was a pothead. This confirms it. Miss Goody Two Shoes. She got 1-2 joints. Now she a pothead. I get 1-2 drinks. I'm an alcoholic. Oh, that's funny, Greg.
No.
So back to the anxiety thing. Why do you all think young adults, these young adults, and when I say that, the ones between 18 and 25, why do they experience anxiety when it comes to finances? Did we not prepare them properly?
I don't know. I think it's maybe each individual kid, because Janaya, she does very well with money. But I will say this: she'll call me, Mama, should I buy this or should I not buy that? So I guess it is a little bit of anxiety. She don't want to spend her money.
She wants you to say, you know what? I'll just send you the money and you buy it with my, with my funds.
That's what she wants.
That's what she wants.
It ain't happening.
Oh, Marsha Eddie Dudley. Eddie
What?
Kane Jr.
No.
This one didn't go up. This one is moving, but that's not moving.
Mm.
Okay. They are not prepared properly because the parents are still struggling financially themselves or are still uneducated financially. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Carlos said they don't have anxiety, more like irresponsible.
Yeah.
Okay, so if your kid doesn't even want to look at their account, every time they look at it, they get stressed. No matter what the balance is that not anxiety?
That's anxiety.
Yeah. So that's what we were kind
But there's
of
a
discussing.
root cause to it, and she has to get down to what the root cause is. She has she has this false sense this false fear of money.
Yeah.
And what caused her to feel that way? What happened to her? What caused her, for her to feel like that?
Yeah, I thought it was weird. I was like, so she has anxiety? She said, yeah, that's exactly what it is. She has anxiety over money, and it's really weird. And she's like, every time she tries to, talk to her about something, and she's like, oh, I don't like, that's the attitude, whether it's investing no matter what it is, that's kind of how, and she doesn't like spending her money. So I don't know. It was just weird. But how many of you have young adults that actually come to you when they want financial advice?
Mine do. But like I say, I did Janaya like my daddy did me. Like, when you get an allowance, you cannot spend all your money. You spend a little bit, you put a little bit up.
Travis says some social pressure that they bring on themselves. I don't know why Greg Dudley think we care that the Cowboys schedule is out, but he wanted to make sure everybody knew that. I feel like he's trying to get everyone started in this heated debate. See, this is the prime baiter right here. Because he wants someone to say something.
Okay, so who y'all think gonna win this year?
Carlos says his kids do, but they still haven't applied the lessons given. So then that brings me to the question of, what's wrong with these damn kids? What's wrong with them? So how many of you have your children on your credit cards and stuff, helping them build their credit? Anybody here?
Uh-uh.
No. They don't necessarily have to use it because I have a kill under my credit card,
Yeah.
but I have the credit card, so he can't use it. But he can reap the benefits of me paying off the credit card.
I know that's real smart
Like
of you.
we use it for whatever purchase, and within 60 days we pay it off.
Yeah.
So he can have that reoccurring in
Yeah.
his debt to income and all that good stuff. So it looks good for him.
Yeah.
He checked his. After I did it, I was like, "Hey, check your credit score," and it was at 760 something.
That's good.
So it really helped him a lot, having that on his side. And I feel like the others have been doing this for years, and we just what Keita say?
Sorry. I looked up and saw Keita response.
This is the entitled generation, and hell no, they not on my credit card.
But Keita, you can do like Toya is doing.
Lock it up.
And I don't
You
know
put them
why
on your
I
credit
haven't
card.
put-
It's just something that's going to be for them, not necessarily for them. It's for their credit. I think it's a good idea. I mean, but I have the credit card. He doesn't, so he can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to go and ball out." He can't do that.
Yeah, yeah. I think I will add Naya to mine.
I think it's a good. I mean, put
Trade
your
line.
address on it so it can
Mhm.
come to you. Don't
Yeah.
put their address on it, and give them that one up.
Yeah,
But you got to be paying your bills too, though.
yeah.
Don't put them on there if you ain't paying your bills. You ain't
Yeah.
doing that by messing them over. This generation is smarter but lazier.
Well, that's what the word says. The word says
But-
they will be wiser but weaker.
But that also goes to how everything is baby. Even in the military, they're babying everybody. Oh, don't yell out. You can't be too rough with them. Like, yes, it's a way more gentle
Mm.
military.
Oh, okay. Listen. Yes. Okay. Let's
Let me
do
let me
this.
read this. They need to work for it. I completely understand how it works. Oh, I mean, they need to work for getting on your credit card.
No, they saying they need to work. She's saying they need to work for getting their own credit card and building their own credit, like she did. That's what she said. Ain't that what you said, Keita?
I feel like that's what she said too, but I had to like think about how I was gonna respond before I did.
You're an enabler.
And I'm an enabler? No, I'm not. No, I'm just like I was saying. Okay, everybody wants to help. I don't want my children to have to go through what I went through.
Mhm.
Like, not that I really went through anything, really. I mean, I feel like I've always been kind of responsible ensuring that we have,
Yeah.
right? So I don't want them to have to struggle to build their credit.
Yeah.
Let's start off strong and we can finish even stronger.
Yeah.
Why can't my child get a good interest rate when he goes to get a car?
Mhm.
Why can't my child get a good? No, I did get good interest rates. Lord Jesus, I'm gonna lie. But it's not always that for everybody.
I didn't have
Getting good interest rates for
I didn't
everything.
have good interest rates when I first started off.
But why was
It-
that? Because you didn't have credit?
I didn't have because I had bad
Or
credit.
you had bad credit. Okay, well, that's where I'm trying to break that curse.
Yeah.
You know, for me, as far as me in my house, I'm just trying to break that curse of, oh, I can't get it, or if I get it, I'm gonna have to pay so much more for it
Mhm.
because my credit is bad. Why can't I help you have your credit good, where it doesn't impact you, and it doesn't impact you as far as having to pay for something
Mhm.
because you're not paying anything.
Yeah.
So if I find out, that's just like if I can tell you how to get $1 million,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna tell you because I need you to figure it out on your own.
No, tell me.
Right. So if I can give my children a head up in life,
Mhm.
that's what I want to do. You're gonna have to get it out of the mud because if you get a credit card, you're gonna have to do that on your own. But I found out that he had a credit card, and I was like, well, I don't know if I think you're responsible enough for a credit card.
Mhm.
And I don't want you to mess up your credit.
Mhm.
So whatever you've put on this, you need to pay it off and give it to me.
Mm.
I'm gonna put you on my credit. You keep your credit card, but I'm gonna keep the credit card.
Yeah.
So you don't have to really. So you will have it. It's available, but
But you be getting gas on it every month
on what?
on his credit card.
No.
No, make sure you're using it. If not, it's gonna mess him up too. Just make sure you use it. Get
Well,
some gas paid off.
When it's over, it's over. But I use my credit card.
No, you have to use his.
But
too.
he is on mine.
Okay.
So he's still getting the benefits
Okay.
of me utilizing.
I thought he had a second card. He had another
Yeah,
card.
he does. I told him to rip it up, but it was like, just bring it because you might not rip it up.
Yeah, and so you got to use that card because it's still in his name and use it for gas or something like that.
Mhm.
Because just not using it all is not good.
Well, we're gonna
Just
bank on
just buy some gas.
we're gonna
and pay
bank
it
on
off.
this over here. Okay. So Carlos talking about co-signing for some. Who he talking about? Who he throwing under the bus? Let me read it. She says she worked for it. She completely understands. Greg says, my daughter was put on our cards at 15. She doesn't get to use them, right? Just the benefits of it, and has a nice 793 credit score. I assume that's what he's at 19.
Yeah.
A nice savings account that she cannot touch until she's 21. As a parent, that's what I'm giving to her to start her adult life when she turns 21.
What you doing for kids? Do you want to adopt a
A
40
4-year-old.
40-year-old? Put me on your credit card.
Carlos
put me
said,
on your bank account.
I co-signed for their first card to help their scores, but that was my push to get them started. Q says, yep. Carlos said they still gonna give you their ass to kiss.
Oh, I swear the Lewises, they so funny.
I don't know what to say. I think that's all kids.
It's all
Not
kids.
just the Lewis bunch. I think all kids have this thing
Or no,
where
I'm talking about you offended.
no.
Okay.
I was just shocked. That's what he said. I think I had to process it a little bit. I think that's all kids
I
though.
should take a picture of your face.
No, I should have took a picture of your face earlier. So mad I didn't record that. But I think that's all kids though. I
Oh,
think all
God.
kids have this sense of my mama and daddy don't know what the hell they talking about. So I'm not listening to nothing they saying. And then they'll come back later. I should have listened.
Yeah.
You was right. I know. So why don't you just listen to me
I
the
think
first
that's
time?
boys. Girls listen.
Mm,
My girls listen.
girls listen slow.
Mm.
I feel like they listen a little slow when it comes to some things. They don't just jump out and get her done.
Now, like I said, I ain't got number one to go off of. Then that second one, I know that's gonna she gonna give me a run for my money.
No, she not.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
'Cause that's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. And she listens. She listens.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's about reinforcement.
Okay.
And a lot of times kids don't want to listen to their parents. You know how many times we talked to Akil about changing? You don't want that MOS. Da 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 da. He was dead set on it. Drea spoke to him for like 10 minutes. He was like, I'm changing. I'm going to be communications. Did we just damn tell you that?
What about no, yeah, they don't want to listen to their parents. I agree.
Like we were telling him something wrong. I'm gonna be an MP. I'm gonna be a. No, you're not. Who told you that? Who told you that was a good idea?
Mhm.
That's not what you're doing. You're gonna be communications. Okay. We as parents be setting ourselves up for failure. How? Explain. As far as being hurt, I need to know how we setting ourselves up for failure.
Because we give them everything. We give them everything. And I'll be the first one to say, I always say, I ain't got number one, and I'm giving her everything I got. and we mess up. We are setting ourselves up for failure in certain ways. We had it a little bit harder than our kids, and it's like because we had
First of all, I don't know who the we is. I don't know who we is that had a little bit harder. I don't know who that person is.
I had it hard. I did not have it hard growing up, but once I left my mom and dad's house at 17 years old
By choice.
by choice, definitely by choice.
So do you think your decisions to leave had a lot to do with you or your parents?
It had everything to do with me. I lived in Mount Pleasant, Texas, and excuse my French, I was trying to bust the hell up out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
So the
going-
hardships that you incurred was because of you.
They were. I was young and making,
dumb.
and making the wrong choices. But
I just like saying that.
But my thing is that I had more hard days. I've had more hard days than I've had easy days.
I've had some good days. Keita says that's how the entitlement happens.
Yes.
When we overgive.
Yes, I completely agree with you.
Knowing damn well these kids are more influenced by their friends and social media than they are by their parents.
Let me tell you, last Saturday when I was getting ready for Gianna's birthday party, I was wiping down my doors, and I sat there and I had a whole aha moment. When I was growing up, anytime when Janaya or T, when they're at my house, I paid them for everything. Oh, go do this for me. I'll pay you a couple dollars. When I was growing up.
But you know why you did that before you even say all this other stuff? You did that because you wish somebody was paying you for all the hard work that you did.
That's some bull crap. But the point
is it
okay.
not the reason why?
I wish they would have, but they did not.
I keep saying I wish I had an aunt like me.
Oh God, yeah. But I had it. My daddy, I'm talking about. We had to wash doors, wash baseboards, and he never gave us $1. If anything, you better be glad you ain't getting your butt whooped. But my kids, every time they do something, oh, I'm gonna send you a couple dollars. I gotta stop that. I had a whole entire aha moment while I was sitting there scrubbing my own doors.
I can't believe I'm doing this shit.
Yes, I got kids in the house. Gianna know how to.
You know mine.
Gianna know how to put this towel in this water and wash this door.
All her fingerprints on it. I'm pretty sure she do.
But we mess these kids up because we give them everything. I'm talking about everything, and we trying to. If they ain't got to go through that, I ain't gonna let them go through that. No, I'm with you, Keita. I had a whole aha moment right now, Keita. You right. I ain't put nobody's name on nothing. They finna get out the mud. I'm lying. I'm finna go do Panaya right now.
Carlos said he fed y'all, kept you clothed, and let you live rent free. So no, his payment was just like back in the slave days. Like you gonna work for this.
Yes. And some of these kids need to work for this. We give them everything. They don't work for crap.
It's hard to get them come give me the remote control.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I asked you to give me the remote. No, Mama, it's right there.
That baby's smart. Oh, I tried to do that to her one day. I was like, Carlos got that remote control center. I said, go get that right there. She went, she picked up her shoe. She was like, you want my shoe? No, let me get the remote control. The shoe. So I know you didn't ask me for this remote control right.
Yeah, we messing these kids up, and we causing anxiety. We the reason why they have anxiety. So you go tell her she the reason why her baby got anxiety.
Because
we're messing these kids up.
Because I feel like sometimes if you feel like you don't have enough, it just makes like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this, or how am I going to get that? So if I don't look at it, then maybe see this in there or it's not.
You want to know something? When you say that triggered something. when I first started making really good money after being broke for a long time, I had anxiety. I just sat here and thought
Because you
about
didn't want to go back.
I did not. I didn't want to spend any money. I would, oh my God, I was the world's worst.
Well, that's what she was saying. Like, you know, she makes her money, but she don't want to spend it. She don't like. She said, like, oh, I don't even want. She's like, well, set your stuff up on automatic payment, and then you don't have to. It's gonna automatically come out. I don't want to see it. Like, that's so weird to me.
Yeah, she done had some type of trauma. She got PTSD,
Money PTSD.
Yeah.
Keita says, if you spoil your kids, you will raise your grandkids. That ain't true.
Jesus.
You leave the country. You leave the state that they live in, and you don't have to worry about raising no grandkids. You make them go somewhere else, so you move. Because they're not going to bring them to you. We get to see Kyle once a year. I'm just kidding, Zay. Jokey joke. I used to loan my kids money, but I charge interest on my loans. He did. He does. He does do that. You know you're going to have to pay back an extra $25, $50, right?
I can tell you that now.
Joelle says, I think y'all just answered the question. Kids have financial anxiety when they get older because they're used to getting everything. Is that what we just answered? But that sounds good, huh?
Yeah. Now seeing that they have their own account with their own money is scary.
Well, I didn't get an account until I became grown.
I didn't have an account.
Like when you, I guess when you have to work for it to get it in there, is different. Adulting isn't easy. You know how many times I was like, man, if I had a better childhood, I would want to go back to it.
I just realized what you said. You stupid. I had an amazing childhood. I wish I could go back to it. I got an account when I was 15 years old. And my mama, I'm telling you, they made us
I was
save
18
money.
when I joined the Army.
I
didn't work or anything prior to joining the military. First of all, I lived too far out and I didn't have a car.
The military was your very first job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Why does that shock you? We lived in the boonies. Like, there was nothing but trees. How was I getting to work? I didn't have a car. My mama barely had a car.
Started working when I was 15 at Sonic Drive again.
Yeah, because you could get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's easier. Now, my sister worked. As a teenager, she was in school. She worked.
No, you didn't.
I didn't have a way to get, once you get rid of one child, you have a little bit more finances to do things that I don't want. And my sister didn't mind asking. I've always been one. I don't like to ask nobody for shit.
Okay. You didn't want to ask for a ride.
Everybody was claimed they was working. There wasn't no need for me to try to get a job that I was going to get fired for not showing up.
I get that.
But yeah, my sister would stay after school and catch rides with friends, places, and do stuff like that. So, and she was on sports teams doing all kinds of stuff. She was doing the most. So she didn't have to go home.
That's what I did. I got in sports, so I didn't have to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It ain't for everybody. The Army was my first job as well.
What's it?
But I kept money as a kid because I'm a hustler, baby.
Yeah.
Well, how you hustle, huh?
That's some dice boys.
Selling candy. That was Pinky. I'm trying to find out what your hustle is. Walk around with briefcases like you're a businessman. I like those type of hustles. You better dress up. Look the part. You can be broke, but if you look like you got some money, people look at you different. But if you look like you a vagabond, nomad, then that's kind of how they're gonna look at you. And they ain't got no place to stay. They could be living on somebody's couch tomorrow.
So yeah, we messing these kids up.
Talking about he had to dress to impress. Okay. You know, Rebecca said you got that drip. Talking about Carlos have that drip. So I know you gonna come through for me. I know you coming through. I don't know why them things be all so old, that man.
They love him.
They love him. He mad, I'ma stand by.
So we can all agree that we messing our kids up.
Who can agree on that? I'm not agreeing to that.
Oh,
I'm definitely not gonna agree to that. Because I don't feel like I've messed my children up.
yeah. I think
I
it's
feel
social
like-
media messing them up.
Because they've had the best of living in the country. And I don't want to say growing up like their dad, but at least in the same type of environment
Mm-hmm.
and having a village,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So they have that.
Yeah.
And then they have living with us and receiving the hard love.
Mm-hmm.
The you don't get your they, you know
They have a balance.
yeah,
is what you're saying.
yeah. I feel like they
They're
had a
balanced.
balance. I feel like the decisions they make now has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
It's the people that they decided they want to be, and I will not take blame for that. Or what's the other word? If it's not the blame, I'm not gonna take credit.
Okay.
So I won't take blame or credit for the life they decide to live. I did my part. I sent them on their way.
Mm-hmm.
It's your world.
Mm-hmm. I need a little bit more control.
But you're not going to be able to control your child forever.
No.
I mean, while she's still in school, then yeah. But once she's out and a doctor somewhere, you think you're going to be able to have control over her?
No. And I don't want that kind of trouble. But right now,
But that's what I'm saying. As long as she's still being supported by you.
yes.
But that's what I'm saying. My children are gone.
Yeah.
I don't support them.
Yeah.
So whatever decisions they make, those are their decisions. They ain't got nothing to do with me because I already told you the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to take credit or the blame for anything that they do.
Okay.
I mean, unless it's they was given to the needy, that's the only credit I'm gonna take.
They're my babies.
Oh, my baby, I raised him right. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm just so because you know how you don't like when people go out and they do the very wrong thing. The first thing they want to talk about is their background, how they were raised. Every time something happens in our community to our people, first thing they want to talk about is, even if it's something good, like even with LeBron James, they talked about how his mom was on welfare and this, that, and like, why is that how you're going to define somebody?
Yeah.
Don't define a child by their parents.
I totally agree. And I think that's more true in this day and age because what Carlos always likes to say is that, you know, they have this social media influence now. And I hate to say it that this TikTok and Instagram and this Facebook and all this other stuff, they have more power than we do. There's way more, they have way more influence. I just think that now this generation, they have influence of all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have that.
Right.
The only influence that we had was Joe Blow right down the street. They got a little money, or they do this, or they live like this, and then what we see on BET.
Yeah.
That was it. We didn't know what nobody was doing. You didn't know what I was doing down here in Texas.
Right.
I didn't know what you was doing in South Carolina. Now, if I want to find out what people are doing in New York, New Jersey, South Carolina, Africa, all I do is jump on the internet.
Yeah.
So there is way more influence now. We don't have that kind of control. We don't have the kind of control of our kids that our parents had over us. We are no match for social media. So you better be giving your kid everything you can from age 2 to 5, because after that.
Carlos says schools no longer teach kids basic skills that we received as kids, like how to write a check, balance a checkbook, write in cursive. Technology has a way of spoiling them. Let one of these towers go down for a week. These kids will lose their damn mind.
Let me tell you something. Carlos is telling the truth.
But he is telling the truth about the kids, but we can't just say kids, because if towers go down for us, it's the same thing. We losing our minds because before there was no such thing as online learning. Back when I grew up, people barely had computers. So, but now I don't have to get out of my bed. I don't have to get in nobody's car. I ain't even got to put no clothes on if I don't want to go get that same education that Joe Blow is getting over at the same school.
You want to know, did y'all realize that they are closing down libraries?
I'm pretty sure they are. They're closing down libraries at schools.
That messed me up. I was like,
they took this library from there was a library to the school. It was one. It was public and it was school. When we first moved here in 2019 school year, just before COVID happened, they closed it.
I'm telling you, and it blows me away that, and I get it. I totally get it, but this social world that we're living in, and we're a part of it too. Look at all the stuff. We take advantage of it too.
Yeah,
we do.
We have to.
I was dead set on buying books where I listened to Audibles, and my book online. Victor bought me a Kindle that I could read my books online. Because he said, "Stop buying all these darn books."
Well, then you have a whole library of your own of books, and it's like, okay, well, I don't even have a house big enough to house all this stuff. Or if I do, then I have to make a room that is an actual library.
And I love books. So I really love books, and I love to touch them. I love to smell them. Yes. Yes. And I can mark through them.
Yeah, you and Karen both.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, did you do a book report? That's what it looks like to me. Whole book report didn't happen. Okay. Well, we know how to operate without a phone. Yeah, we know how to operate without a phone. But if our cell phones go out, we don't have a landline. If anything happens, what are we doing? What the hell? It's panic mode for us because we've become accustomed to operating in this digital technical world. We're a part of it. Whether we want to, the millenniums, we fall in that.
We're just as messed up as they are. We're entitled to.
But the thing is, we remember drinking from the water hose and playing outside. We remember that. We remember playing kickball. We remember when the ball was real hard and we got hit. We remember those are memories that unless we get a memory disease, we're gonna have that to cherish. These kids won't. I went to school Kill for a field day, and they had the little softball out there talking about they playing kickball. What is this? This ain't for to hit nobody. Knock their head off.
Yesterday, during our prayer call, one of the older ladies she was giving her encouraging word, and her encouraging word was talking about being grateful. And she says that we live in a society where we can go to our kitchen cut on a faucet and the water comes out. We live in a society where we can go to the restroom, sit down on a pot, use the restroom, and flush it. She says they come from a generation where they had to go out to a barrel to get the water. They had an outhouse that they had. And she says, think about, you need to use the restroom and it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and you have to go outside and ain't no light off in there and sit there. Man, you talking about somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Even our generation,
there.
like she has that to hold on to.
Yeah.
And she sees where we are today and it's totally different. So it's something that they have to adjust to as well. Like older people who don't know how to use cell phones or younger people, if they go to their great grandma house and they're like, well, what is this? I don't know how you dial. Like how do I make a call on this?
Yeah. It's crazy. Kids don't know what rotary phones are.
Did you see that one? It was real funny. I was like, oh, that poor baby.
Yeah.
She was a teenager. She didn't know anything about the rotary phone.
A beeper. No, we love the beeper.
You got to be a doctor to have one now.
Yeah. So it's crazy. I sit back and I look at things.
Because I'm pretty sure that great grandparents are saying these poor babies talking about us.
Yeah.
They'll never understand what it's like to go out to an outhouse.
And that's what she was saying. She says we have all these wonderful things and we still miserable people. I said, God, dog. She hit me hard.
Well, we've been here an hour and 2 minutes. We're gonna go and let you guys go because y'all probably tired of hearing us run our mouth about these babies, these little babies. Lord Jesus, let my own babies crying.
I swear, y'all don't know how much we laugh. I promise you don't.
Well,
they're
gonna learn today.
Well, it's been a really good conversation. We had a lot of random conversation. I loved all of it.
Me too. We're going to continue after we get off here.
Yes. So y'all make sure y'all tune in and to us next week for another episode of Let's.
Hold on.
Okay.
Carlos says, Marsha, we used to walk the streets when it got dark with no light poles.
No, y'all.
My granddad used to say, if it didn't want you during the day, the damn show don't want you at night.
No, they bad butts walk that night.
That's probably
not Marsha.
He's probably talking about him. He's probably like Marsha.
Yeah.
Well, don't be acting like y'all didn't see us out here in the streets with no lights and running down the road barefoot.
Bad kids always out at night. Not Marsha. I'm scared.
And you should be. Okay. So tune in next week for another episode of Let's Talk About It. Good night, you guys. Happy Mother's Day again.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.